Hello, I'm Khalid and today we're going to unbox the Onyx Boox Tab Ultra. We're going to see what's in the box and also get a first impression of the EInk tablet as well. So let's go. So there we have the box and we can see there is this pattern here on top and also on the bottom of the box, which we have also seen in the teaser and the product page of the tablet itself. So let's turn it around and quickly also check out the specs of the tablet before opening the box. So we have our 10.3-inch EInk screen with a resolution of 227 ppi. We have a color temperature adjustable front light, we have a capacitive and inductive touchscreen, an octa-core CPU, 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage, a 16 megapixel camera, Android 11 with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, a microSD card slot, USB-C, a microphone and speaker, a large 6300 mAh battery, and the size and the weight of the tablet. So let's get off this cover and put it on the side. And there we have the actual box. Let's open this one up as well. And there is our Onyx Boox Tab Ultra. So let's get it out of the box. And there we have our first glance at the tablet, which is still in its packaging. Let's put it aside for 1 second and see what's else in the box. There we have our USB cable, so that's USB-A to USB-C. So let's put this one aside as well. Next we have our stylus. So let's get this one out. And I can immediately tell that the stylus is much nicer to the touch than the standard stylus of the Onyx Boox Note Air 2 Plus. Let's check it out a bit later. And last but not least, get out the microSD card expansion opener, which we will need in a second. And what's left in the box is the warranty card and the quick start guide. So let's put all of this aside and have a look at the tablet itself. Let's get it out of this plastic wrap and put this one aside as well. There we have it. So this feels quite nice to the touch. High quality with the flat sides, and let's quickly check out the frame. So there we have the smart connector on the side. On the top we have the power button, a microphone and speaker. There on the other side we have the magnets for attaching the stylus. You can see there is an indicator. Let's put it on the side. And I can immediately feel that that's much stronger than on the Onyx Boox Note Air 2 Plus. And then we have another speaker and microphone, I think. And there we have the microSD card slot, which looks a bit recessed, so that's not as nice looking as I was expecting, to be honest. And next to it we have the USB-C connector. So let's open up the microSD card slot. And there we have it. Let's put it back in. That's a bit fiddly, but there we have it. Close it. And on the back side we have our camera and the same pattern we have seen on the box. As you can see, the backside is tinted in a deep purple color, which looks very nice in my opinion. So much nicer than the dark green of the Onyx Boox Note Air 2 Plus. But of course that's a matter of taste. And as you can see, the camera protrudes a little bit from the back side. So that's something I'm not a big fan of, because obviously when putting it down without a case, this will result in the tablet wobbling on the desk. So let's see what this looks like. And as you can see in the top right corner where the camera is located, there's no wobbling, but in the top left corner on the opposite side of the camera there is wobbling, and quite a bit of it as well. So like I said, this might be a problem when using the Boox Tab Ultra without a case. But I will check out in the full review how annoying this actually is. So this might be a non-issue, especially with a case. And let's also have a closer look at the stylus. Like I said, the stylus immediately feels much nicer to the touch than the standard stylus of the Onyx Boox Note Air 2 Plus, so it lies much better in the hand in my opinion, and without the ripped look this feels much better. As I have said before, the magnets feel much stronger, so the stylus is on there pretty well, and shaking it off will be pretty hard, so I'd say this is a much better solution than the one on the Onyx Boox Note Air 2 Plus, which in part also has something to do with the flat sides. So the Onyx Boox Note Air 2 Plus has a curved frame where the stylus is in position as well as on the flat side of the Boox Tab Ultra. So this is a clear improvement over the Boox Note Air 2 Plus. So let's turn it on and see what the user interface looks like. There we are. Hello. Oh, nothing happening here. Okay, continue. And continue. So I want to use the navigation bar and I'm activating it, and that's it with the first boot up. So that's the new home screen of the Onyx Boox Tab Ultra, which resembles a traditional Android home screen and launcher much more than before. And you can swipe to the other side and have another view as well. So I'm going to have a closer look at this in the full review. So just quickly checking out what other options are available here. So you can add another screen. And you can place widgets and app shortcuts. So that looks quite nice, and in my opinion is a welcome change to traditional Onyx Boox devices. So let's open up the control center and check out the lighting quality. And as I've said before, this is color temperature adjustable, and the lighting quality looks pretty nice at first sight. So first impression is really good. I can't really see a brightness gradient. I only see a slight brightness difference at the edges of the screen, but to be honest, this looks really nice, even nicer than I anticipated. So Onyx wasn't lying when they said they made the front light more uniform. But of course, this is not a final verdict, so sub to the channel to see the full review where I will check out the lighting quality in different lighting situations. But as I said, first impression, pretty good. Also, let's have a look at the different EInk modes. So we have the HD, balanced, fast and ultra fast mode. So let's quickly switch through them to see what happens on the screen. So when switching from HD to balanced, it looks like there's a loss in quality, especially in pixel density. But when switching from balanced to fast and from fast to ultra fast, I don't really see a change. But same as with the lighting quality, I will check this out in more detail in the full review. So let's quickly create a node to see what the latency of the pen looks like. And that looks quite nice as well. So as you can see, the latency is very low. So actually it might be lower than on the Onyx Boox Note Air 2 Plus. I'm not sure, I will have to take a closer look, but initially I'd say this is also a very good writing experience. And not only the latency is nice, but also the feel of the pen on the screen, which has a bit of friction and feels more like paper than on a traditional tablet. So let's also quickly check out the camera and document scanning feature. So we have to create a name. Let's do that. And that brings us to the camera, which actually looks much better than expected, but you can see in this pop-up there is a problem with the margins and paddings of the text. Not too bad, but could be better. And there I have a page prepared to see how that works. So I'm taking a picture. See what I have to do here. Oh, and here I can choose the OCR and other options. The OCR is only available with a network connection, which honestly I'm not a big fan of, but okay, I will check that out in the full review. So we have two other options. We have a PDF and a notes option. So the PDF conversion doesn't work for some reason. I will check this out in the full review as well. So I'm canceling this one and creating a note. And that's just placing the picture inside the notepad. I was expecting a bit more, to be honest, but you know the drill. Let's see how that works in the full review. So let's also check out some main items of the user interface. We have the library, the store, which obviously you need a network connection. So we have our internal storage with 128 gigabytes. So I think you won't run out of memory. So let's open up the settings as well, which look very much like the settings on the Huawei Mate with Paper. Okay, so to finish up the quick look at the user interface, I want to quickly check out the auto rotation feature. And obviously you have to activate it. But that doesn't look like it's working. Okay, so the auto rotation doesn't work for some reason. I will check out in the full review if that's just a bug which might resolve itself with a reboot, or if this is actually a problem with the firmware. Okay, before finishing up, let's put the tablet in the standby mode and check out the build quality. So okay, the build quality feels pretty nice, and as expected the whole device feels a bit sharper because obviously the flat frame makes the edges a bit sharper. It's not uncomfortable to hold, but the Onyx Boox Note Air 2 Plus feels more pleasant in my opinion. And one thing I've noticed is when flexing the device a little bit, there is a bit of creaking and cracking going on. So when flexing it actively, you can actually hear a bit of cracking. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but honestly I wasn't expecting that. So the Onyx Boox Note Air 2 Plus feels more sturdy in my opinion. But as I said before, I will check this out in the full review as well. Okay, and that's it for my first look and first impressions of the Onyx Boox Tab Ultra. So for me that was a great first impression. The screen quality looks quite nice, especially the lighting quality. So let's see if that will hold up in the full review. And I also like the user interface changes Onyx has done on the Boox Tab Ultra, and moving it a little bit more to a traditional tablet layout. So there are actually quite a few things I like about this tablet, only a few downsides I have seen so far. Subscribe to the channel to not miss the full review. Thanks for your time watching, and see you in the next one.